Welcome back to Beast Wars Wednesdays. I'm your host, Predacon Paul.
And I'm Decepticon Doug.
This particular episode is a lovely, lovely episode.
I think it's a good ep.
A good ep.
But is it a great ep?
Yo, is it a great ep?
This is the definitive review of Double Jeopardy. Another stasis pod is coming down, and it crashes right into a chunk of ice. Mm-hmm. Whoopsie daisy.
The Maximals show up to try and rescue their fallen comrade.
Different fallen comrade than the previous fallen comrade from the episode Fallen Comrades.
Yeah.
It's Dinobot and Optimus. They're in the canyon.
A box canyon.
That's right. And they're looking around, they're like, where's the stasis pod?
Where is it? And then Rattrap is like, yo, you're like a few feet away. But it turns out that they were a few feet away from it, horizontally.
Vertically is another story.
Yeah, wait. You know how clever that line is? Because it is easily a story up from where they are. The Predacons show up, naturally. We got the two flyers, Waspinator and Pterosaur, as well as Scorponok on the ground, surrounding the Maximals. The battle gets a little heated. The Maximals are buried under some snow. Waspinator starts making off with the stasis pod. Optimus, again, he's very emotionally invested. He charges out of the snow and chases after them to get the pod back. Pterosaur gets behind him, shoots him in the rocket pack, and the Predacons make off with the stasis pod.
So Tarantulas makes the new protoform.
And we are introduced to Black Arachnia.
Ugh.
Yeah, he doesn't like spiders, by the way. Either that or he doesn't like his coffee.
Coffee's great.
So apparently this is the third operation of the Maximals that has been ambushed by the Predacons.
Yeah. There's only one conclusion. Megatron is psychic.
He's plugged into the Matrix. You can see all. Although, there could be a spy in the Maximals. And the person who led them into the box canyon was none other than Rattrap. Dinobot's already pretty sure of it, that Rattrap was the traitor all along. Everyone else is like, who's going to be the traitor? We're all a tight family here. There's only 5 of us. But Optimus is like, no, you know what? It probably is Rattrap. So he takes Rattrap aside to talk to him about his loyalty.
In private.
In private.
Yeah. We have a dramatic reenactment for you. Back in 1 second.
So I represent all the Maximals. There's no way it could be Rattrap. Optimus, come on.
Rattrap, we need to talk. In private. You're a traitor.
So yeah, private in the Maximal base is just several feet away from the other Maximals. That's private in this continuity. As a test of loyalty, Optimus is like, Rattrap's going right into Pred territory.
In a lava pit.
That's like basically giving him to the Predacons. Would you believe it? The Predacons find Rattrap. Oh yeah, that's what the Predacons are doing. They have
a Maximal decoder. Megatron dispatches his reliable flyer.
I wouldn't send Waspinator either. So Pterosaur's off to go dispatch with the Maximal. Pterosaur comes out as the victor of the fight, and just as he's about to cap off Rattrap is like, whoa! I beg for mercy.
I give up.
I'll do whatever you say.
Obviously, as soon as he has any type of assistance or backup, the wheels immediately go, okay, it's time to get rid of Megatron.
Yeah, so he basically takes Rattrap as his lieutenant to take over the Predacon base.
Like, come on, Pterosaur.
Yeah, hopped right on it. The moment the balance of power is slightly in Pterosaur's favor, he goes for it again.
Says, okay, the pod was because of me. The balance of power is now tipped in their favor because of Rattrap, who is sporting fealty to him, which has one of the greatest scenes ever. Because as he's like talking, you got Rattrap sitting there all like, and then Rattrap uses a taser, which scrambles Megatron's servos so he can't transform. Megatron is deposed.
Scorponok still is going to treat Megatron like he's the boss. But the spiders could go either way. Waspinator is just like, oh. Rattrap and Megatron are brought into the prison cells. Megatron, he's apparently prepared for a rainy day. The rainy day has come. Open cell, bring a platform. Well, peace, Rattrap. See you later. I'm just going to go fix myself and get my command back. Rattrap is still Maximal.
Yeah.
As if there was any doubt.
And he picks the lock. And he escapes.
Yeah, he gets out.
And then there's this like incredible cliffhanger ending. Those of you who are old enough to remember commercial breaks.
They're
not the little clips that show up before whatever it is you're watching. that you can skip after 30 seconds.
They also didn't come up halfway through a video to take over the bottom of the screen, and you had to press the X to get rid of them.
Something happens, and then, oh my god, there's a cliffhanger, so they have to engineer some type of drama, so that way you're left wanting to come back and see how it's resolved.
I guess they're really afraid of people being like, well, I guess the show's over.
Yeah,
I better go get lunch.
Yeah, Rattrap he's a goner.
That's it.
Yeah. The Maximals lose. So Rattrap jumps, grabs onto the thing,
dun, 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 dun.
and then he goes to like hoist himself up, and he's like,
he could fall in the lava, guys. This could be it.
Commercial break. He's like, oh no!
Oh, yeah, it could
Will he
happen.
make it?
Will we buy some Beast Wars toys in between? Mom, I want Baboom and I want Inferno.
Yeah, and I want the Creepy Crawlers kit.
I would like Mighty Max, not Polly Pocket.
I want my Super Soaker X300.
But while we're watching all these commercials, we can't stop thinking, but what about Rattrap?
What about Rattrap?
He could fall into that lava.
Will he fall into the lava?
And then,
Beasties!
we're back.
And then,
He gets up. It's cool. Don't worry, guys. He's okay. So he's going through the Predacon base. I guess since Waspinator sort of purposely removed himself from the argument, he went to go check to see if there's any activity going on with the Maximals. Rattrap is watching as Waspinator's looking for Maximal transmissions. Waspinator leaves. Rattrap comes down. He's like, aha, a Maximal chip. On his way to the cell, he gets caught into a web, and then there's a little alarm going off, unauthorized access to a restricted zone. Tarantulas checks it out. Rattrap does manage to get out with a little blade in his wrist.
as he's getting back into his cell.
Tarantulas is gonna transform and take out Rattrap, but now Pterosaur, in his infinite wisdom, kind of forgot to take away Rattrap's gun. So, boom! Tarantulas gets blasted halfway through his transformation.
As his chest plate is coming down.
Yeah, so Tarantulas is down for the count. So he's like, okay, well, that's cool for now. I better summon Optimus. So the Maximals have been ready for an attack on the Predacon base.
Tigertron called in sick.
Yeah, they're like, Tigertron! Hello? So Pterosaur is like, okay, we're under attack. Megatron shows up because he's all repaired. And Pterosaur craps his pants. But Megatron's like, whoa, cool your circuits. I've decided I'm going to let you command.
A wise tyrant always allows a fool to take a lead in a crisis. I never actually understood what he meant by this. And I said, that's stupid. But he was kind enough to educate me because he's wise. He just doesn't have a beard.
Yeah, I can't grow one. I'm sorry. What I think is going on is that Megatron is investing in the future because he knows Pterosaur is not going to stop wanting to be leader. So he's going to prove his incompetence, and so he's going to plant seeds of doubt in every other Predacon's mind so that no matter what, they will not follow Pterosaur. There's going to be no debating anymore.
Everyone's just going to point their guns at him and go, no.
Pterosaur is not fit to lead.
Yeah, we've been through this.
Everyone but Tarantulas runs out into battle because Tarantulas is still in the bowels of the ship. Pterosaur commands Rattrap to shoot at Optimus. He shoots, and he actually hits Optimus, and Optimus falls, and he gets an owie. Dinobot's been bloodthirsty for Rattrap this whole episode.
Yeah.
He beelines it to Rattrap to take him out. But Megatron grabs him and he's like, hey, you want to prove your loyalty? Kill Dinobot because I just really want somebody to kill Dinobot. And Rattrap's like, okay, and then he shoots off Pterosaur's head. Rhinox runs in, recovers Rattrap, and the Maximals are out of there. Megatron's thesis is proven. Pterosaur, not a good leader. He's like, hey, anyone disagree? Everyone basically pieces out. And says, yeah, we're not following Pterosaur anymore.
Oh, my aching head.
Oh, the big reveal. Rattrap is not a spy. And then everybody lives happily ever after. With butterflies.
Mm-hmm. Oh, except the Maximals did lose that protoform, so...
Yeah. You win some, you lose some.
So, Predacon Paul. What'd you like about this episode?
You're talking to me, right?
Unless there's another Predacon Paul around here. Are any of these Predacons named Paul?
Yes.
Actually, yeah. Rampage's original name before he was Protoform X was Pauliform X. I like the characterization. I like more time spent in the Predacon camp. I enjoy that this is sort of playing again off of Pterosaur's treacherous nature. This is sort of Pterosaur's last real big betrayal toward Megatron because Megatron kind of puts a stop to it right there and then. It's actually a lot of fun spending time with the Predacons in this episode.
I think so too. Especially considering they just can never seem to get their crap together. It's like, come on, you guys. You have the strategic advantage.
Also, a lot of time spent with Rattrap, and this is another case where we get a nice exploration of Rattrap's character, how clever and resourceful he is. It's a lot of fun just seeing him covertly walk around the Predacon base, just finding his way out of these tricky situations. I also really like, in this one, I think the action is amped up really well. The battle sequences are a lot of fun. I remember liking them especially as a kid. You get to see everyone fight a little bit. We get a nice little reprise of Rhinox blasting through Waspinator, a little more fisticuffs with Dinobot and Megatron. A little detail that for some reason I love a lot is the noticeable battle damage with the characters. Putting in dents and burn marks on the characters as they're taking hits.
Whole chunks missing with the gears and stuff underneath.
Dinobot takes this huge blast to the torso, and his whole shoulder is scarred and charred up. And Tarantulas' hit, the way he looks crisped up after that hit.
Optimus, when his backpack gets shot, and then he hits the ground, those huge flames coming off the back.
Oh yeah,
Looked really cool.
Little details like that I just find are just some nice spices into this whole episode. It just shows as the animators were working on the show, they were improving.
The problem I have with this episode, the episode writers are trying to cast doubt on whether or not Rattrap is truly a Predacon spy, which we all know that he's not. Rattrap, in the beginning, there was all that resistance, kiss my pink behind and all that stuff. And yet, in the episode
Fallen Comrades?
Fallen Comrades, yeah, Rattrap proves that he's really good to the core, because Megatron threatens the two tigers, seemingly innocent tigers that aren't involved in the conflict at all. Rattrap puts himself at a strategic disadvantage by lowering his weapon, which shows how selfless in nature he actually is, even though he's kind of an a-hole. That moment, for me, cast all doubt aside. So in this episode, when it's I wonder if he's a traitor. Ugh.
As an audience, we're already past that level of doubt for Rattrap. I mean, the problem with doing is there a traitor amongst us episode, when the cast is this small, you've already established all these characters to be really trustworthy.
This episode just seems like an excuse to even the numbers out. What I'm trying to say is the episode feels like filler. Even though there's a nice button ending to the Pterosaur arc, they didn't really expand on Black Arachnia at all. She just sort of hissed and ha'd all over the place.
Yeah, that's where I feel like it really dropped the ball, is that you don't get a sense of Black Arachnia at all. Even though, down the road she becomes a very important character, her introduction is very lackluster. What it is that this episode never had the struggle. The struggle for the stasis pod is just this little intro, where all the other episodes where characters are introduced in the stasis pods, that's part of the conflict of that episode. The introduction of Black Arachnia is not part of the conflict. If anything, it's the inciting incident that makes them really question Rattrap's loyalty. Where with Airazor and Inferno, there's struggle over winning over these characters. It's almost like it was the episode wanted to do too much.
I know it would have helped. We should have seen 3 episodes where the Maximals constantly take a kicking.
At least one episode where they took a beating. Like a lead-up episode.
Well, think about it this way, okay? If you watch a show like we watched it back then, it made it feel like the series was that much longer because we had to wait for the episodes to be released, right? And when you're watching and the Maximals lose, you can build on that, the hints and whispers of maybe there's a mole or maybe there's a traitor in the midst or whatever. If they saved the reveal until the end that there was a Maximal chip, as opposed to having that whole issue just sort of buttoned up and, oh, well, a Maximal chip, take it, gone. The stakes weren't that high in that conflict either.
It's true. They just came from the victory of Fallen Comrades to the loss at the very beginning of Double Jeopardy.
Could you imagine if even after the victory of Fallen Comrades, they have Tigertron, they go on 3 separate missions, and in those separate missions, even though they outnumber the Predacons, they continue to lose? That'd be frustrating. And then you could have this episode, Rattrap's a traitor. Oh, I'm not a traitor. Screw you, MonkeyBot. And then all of a sudden, boom, oh, a Maximal chip. Then you're like, holy crap. You're right earlier when you stated that this episode was trying to do too many things at once.
So you think it could have been great as a 2-parter?
I think so.
2-parter worth of material, 1 episode.
Crammed into 1 episode. You could have had all that lead up in the first episode.
Yeah, and then finish it with the Predacons getting the stasis
Getting
pod.
the pod, yeah. Have Rattrap try to convince Black Arachnia that she's not a Predacon. She could overcome the programming.
It could be set up a nice foundation for how her character winds up going. Maybe they could have accomplished all of this. Maybe they could have actually made this a really, really good episode. It just moves very, very fast, and so it can't do everything that it intends to do. It's kind of just a victim of what the show was. Like, all in all, like, it does accomplish a lot, and it actually is really entertaining. So you can't fault it. You just could sort of get the sense that, man, this could have been a bit more.
Because you didn't get a nice full beginning, middle, and end to each of these story arcs, it feels like filler because there's so much shit being thrown at you. But the episode was great. I'm not saying it was a bad episode. I'm just saying that it's that Beast Wars issue that they're going to come up with where they have introduced a new character and now they have to even the numbers out.
We have a little bad grammar award for Scorponok, or his again out of character third person talking. Again, I diagnosed a little bit of a knock to the head. This one from Dinobot earlier in the episode. He was down for the count. Still odd characterization in the writing.
We're going to give this episode 3.5 maximal Dakota chips.
I liked this episode a lot as a kid. Like, I really, really liked it. But this is one of those cases where, in hindsight, as an adult, I do kind of see the cracks. We like the episode, and we say it's required viewing, but ultimately, it just could have been so much more than it was. Tell us what you think about Double Jeopardy. Did you love it? Did you hate it? Do you think that it being a two-parter would be a good move? Please let us know in the comments.
Did you think that Rattrap was a traitor?
Were you sold? Were you sold on him being a traitor? If you like our video, please give us a thumbs up, share with your friends. We would appreciate it so much. Please subscribe. Check us out in 2 weeks when we talk about a better mousetrap. Bam! 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 Wow! 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 Dana! 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 Anyway, so please could you drink a little louder?